Shalom. And I want to start off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wachach Chodesh. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles, and elders, a great millstone, and salutations to you, Akim, that's out there listening, pushing forth this word with truth and sincerity, and your few Akwat as well. That's listening with sincerity. I'm the brother Machaya from the KMGMS Montreal, coming back with another lesson. And F, our feelings. It's all about pushing the word, okay? Because, we all have things that we go throughout our day-to-day. You feel like this, you feel like that. Sin comes in your mind, telling you to relax, not for you to do the work when it's time for you to do a lesson or to study. And boom, sin just comes in your mind. So, just relax, man. You don't need to do all that, right? And you get caught up in your emotions. But you got to remember the work still has to be done. Okay, whatever that you're going through, whether you're happy, you're not happy, you're catching hell, the word still has to be pushed forth, man. Okay, because that's part of the walk, man. We have to endure. Next to that, let's get that in 2 Timothy. We have to endure hardness, man. This is 2 Timothy 2 and verse 3. It says, "Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach." See, as a good soldier, we have to endure hardness. Okay? And, in this truth, our elders and apostles, they say that a lot. It's a roller coaster of emotions. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. But no matter what, you stay consistent in doing the work, man. Doing your lessons, studying, watching lessons, being brotherly, right? Making sure you're applying these things, even, you're not in good spirits, right? Regardless, work has to be done, right? Just like when you go into work for Esau, man, right? You know what I'm saying? You're 9 to 5, 5 days a week or however much days you work a week, right? You got to clock in because you need that paycheck to pay for your bills, right? So the same thing, you got to clock in, to put forth the spiritual treasures in heaven, man. Okay? If you're consistent in going to work, how much more are you to be more consistent with doing this work, man? And we all go through the same things. We all, Satan attacks all brothers when it's time for you to, be in the spirit or whatever, right? But, you got to remember, to rebuke those thoughts and, to keep doing the work, man. And this was inspired, for the French camp, we briefly touched on that, you know what I'm saying? And I figured, why not make a lesson on it? Because, throughout the week, Satan's been attacking me too, you know what I'm saying? Coming into your mind, you know what I'm saying? And say, oh, you don't need to do all that, man. Nah, man, it has to be done. Okay? Let's read that in the NLT. 2 Timothy 2 and verse 3 NLT. It says, "Endure suffering along with me as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach." Okay? We have to endure, man. All right? Because we understand that, the Lord is long suffering. You know what I'm saying? Endure. Let's look up that word real quick. Endure. Because it ties in with long suffering too, man. Right? Patience. Right? This is the word endure. In the Greek, it says kakopatheo, to suffer, endure evils, hardships, troubles, to be afflicted. Yeah, man. Okay? Scripture say, don't take as strange the fiery trial which is to try you. Okay, not everything's going to be peaches and creams, man. Okay, we have our ups and downs. But the word still has to be pushed forth to undergo hardship, be afflicted. Strong's definition I'm reading right now. Endure afflictions, suffer trouble. Yeah, and that's that's common for us, man. That's a that's a regular thing for the men of the Lord, because like Scripture say in Ecclesiasticus, the 2nd chapter for his verse, when you come to serve the Lord, you have to prepare your heart, or prepare yourself for temptation. Roughly paraphrasing, you just it's part of the walk, man. It's part of the walk. Okay, and let's get this other scripture. I think it's in Timothy 3. One of my favorite scriptures. Okay, where Apostle Paul is referring to how that, because Apostle Paul was undergoing a lot, man. He's known to be acquainted with hardship or hardness. You know what I'm saying? Which he wrote this letter to Timothy and advising him to endure hardness as a good soldier, because he went through a lot of stuff, man. I think is it Romans the 7th chapter? I'm not too sure, but it's one of the chapters in Romans. He goes into the things that he had to suffer, and this truth, man. Because even Yahweh Shai said that he was a chosen vessel, that has, to suffer, and preaching the word in so many words. Okay, but let's get this. Let's type it in. I know it's in Timothy. Okay. Oh, it's the same chapter, 2 Timothy 2 and verse we'll start at verse 8. It's verse 7. All right. It says, "Consider what I say, and the Lord give thee understanding in all things. Remember that Yahweh Shai HaMashiach of the seed of David was raised from the dead according to my gospel." And it's a fact. You know what I'm saying? It's recorded. All right. Verse 9, this is the point here. Wherein I suffer trouble as an evildoer, even unto bonds. But the word of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai is not bound. Right? So he was locked up, okay, in jail or whatnot. But he's like, hey, even though I'm in jail right now, hey, the word is not bound, man. I gotta write these letters and send them to the churches. Okay, so he was still working, man, even though he was locked up. So hey, that's a mentality that we gotta have, man. Not saying if you're locked up, like, of course, different times, we're in different times, of course. If Esau, grabs you up, for sure you're not gonna have access to a phone to put up a video or whatever. But it's in the sense of basically the mindset, your mindset towards this truth, man. Okay, always keep it at the forefront, right? Scriptures or command us for I to be single, for our whole body to be full of light, man. To keep the truth the main thing. Okay, let's read that in the NLT, verse 9. "And because I preach this good news, I am suffering and have been chained like a criminal." Right? The Romans, put him in prison or in jail, you may say. "But the word of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai cannot be chained." He was writing them letters, man. It's like, nah, man, this word still has to go forth. Okay? He wasn't worried, I'm locked up, man. What am I going to do that? Nah, the Apostle Paul's mindset was like, yo, I got to push forth this word, man. Verse 10, back to the KJV. "Therefore, I endure all things for the elect's sake." You know what I'm saying? He had care for the sheep, man. He was diligent to see the state of his flock. So that's a mindset we have to apply. Just like Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai was daily in the temple teaching, man. Okay? It says that they may also obtain the salvation which is in Hamashiach Yahweh Shai with eternal glory. Yeah. And us too, we're suffering all things for the elect's sake, man. Okay? With certain brothers, whenever they open their lesson, they say shalom to the elect. Okay? Because this is what these lessons are really for. They're really for the elect. Okay? All this work that we're doing is really for the elect, man. We're not concerned about 2/3. No, they're gonna die on this side. We care about feeding the sheep. Like Yahweh Shai told Peter, if you love me, feed my sheep. He told him 3 times. Okay, so we got to feed the sheep, man. Okay, my back is hurting. So this meme comes to mind. What's it called? Rick Ross. Basically he's giving a motivational speech about getting to the money. He's like, how does this clip go again? Well, it's funny, man. It's funny shit. But it's like, my back. No, fuck all that, man. Let's get to this money. So, hey, you know what I'm saying? Your back hurts, your neck hurts, or whatever. Fuck all that, man. Let's get to this word, man. Let's preach this word. Okay? Him he's saying it for carnal means, but us, hey, you know what I'm saying? When I looked at it, I'm like, shit, I got to do that in the righteous way. Chasing these spiritual blessings, man. Okay? And doing the work. And if you're truly, really about this, man, you're going to do the work. Okay, even though if you don't feel like doing it, your conscience is going to condemn you. Your conscience is going to be pricked. You're like, yo, I got to do the work, man. I don't feel right. Yeah, man, because what? The word is burning up within you. Okay? A true man of the Lord, man, that's how they're going to feel, man. Even if Satan comes in their mind saying, oh, you don't need to do word, you don't need to do that, you're constantly gonna be like, nah, man, you know you're not gonna feel right if you don't do this. Yeah, man. But a phony, a fake, they're gonna give in to the thought, to those thoughts, and man, slowly but surely, and fall away. You see? Let's read this. Jeremiah 20 and verse 9. Then I said, I will not make mention of him, right, of the Lord, because Jeremiah was catching hell. He was preaching the word, but Jake was looking to put him to death, man. They put him in a pit. Jeremiah was catching hell, man. So he was like, yo, fuck all this, man. You know what I'm saying? These guys don't want to listen, man. I don't want to preach this word no more, right? Nor speak any more in his name, but his word was in my heart as a burning fire shut up in my bones. But like, hey, the word was burning within him. Okay, his conscience was like, yo, man, I gotta bring it out. I don't care, man. I know it doesn't feel, I don't feel like doing it, this, that, but nah, man, I gotta bring it out. That was his sentiment. It was burning within him, man. If this word is truly in you, it's gonna burn within you. No matter how you feel, okay, you don't feel like doing it, you're gonna do it. Even the Apostle Tahar, he says sometimes, saying jumps on when it's time for camp. Oh, I don't feel like going to camp, but every Saturday, the lessons are out, man. You know what I'm saying? The highways and hedges, the lessons are out. Okay, because all brothers, we saying comes to us, in the same fashion in a sense. Okay, we all undergo the same thing. Certain brothers more than others, but regardless, I'm saying, we're partaking in this walk as a body, right? Each individual brother has their own walk at the end of the day, but we're undergoing the same things, man. Okay. But it says, but his word was in mine heart as a burning fire shut up in my bones, and I was weary with forbearing, and I could not stay. So yeah, he could keep it within him. It had to come out. It had to come out, bro. And it's a fact, bro. Like I stated, man, if you're a true man of the Lord, man, even if you don't feel like doing it, you're gonna be like, nah, man, I gotta do this, man. I have to, because you have that fear of the Lord within you. You know what I'm saying? You have that fear because if you don't do it, you're gonna get jacked up. And you have passion and love for this thing, man. Okay, this thing has to be your life. Okay, you have to be really immersed in this, man, to where that this truth is flowing out of you, man. Because this is our life. We forsook everything. This is our life, man. You know what I'm saying? Because in the times to come, this is what's going to keep us stable. This is what we're going to have to rely on. This truth, man, Yahweh Shai. Okay? Right now, we're in the world, we still got to do things. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, it's going to come to a point in time where all these things of the world is going to be done away with, man. All right? So it's just, hey, F your feelings, man. Just push the word, man. You know what I'm saying? Endure hardness as a good soldier, man. Don't let the word be bound. Okay? Don't hold this word within you, man. Let it out. Okay? But anyways, man, this was on my spirit. I'm gonna close it off there. Begging all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wachachodesh. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Until next time, I'm gonna say Shalom.